Hi, everyone. Welcome back to another live event where we're going to discuss important things about UX, UI, the tech industry, and much more. So, today we have a very special session prepared, and we're going to talk about a very important topic. So, today we're going to talk about, is college still worth it in 2024? So, is college the only alternative for a career right now? And the important thing is that you can learn your options and learn what other things are out there. So, without further ado, let's get started. Okay, so today we're gonna talk about technology and how technology is a complete game changer in this career arena. We are also going to talk about this special thing. It's not a skill, but it's a very important thing that companies are looking for when hiring new people. The other thing we're going to talk about is knowing all the options you have. And we're going to talk about also benefits of the alternative career paths. Also, we're going to talk about the benefits of going to college. And at the end, we're going to have some room for questions if there are any. So, before we begin, if you haven't been here before, hi, my name is Mafe. I am a senior product designer here at Avo Academy. I am located in Southern California, and I have been a UX UI designer for 5 years, and I have 12 years design experience as a graphic designer. I'm very happy to say that I've helped shipped countless design products to happy users. Every project has been a wonderful opportunity to learn and to grow. And one of the things I love the most is being an educator. I really enjoy sharing with others a lot about UX, UI, and cool tips and tricks and design hacks. And yeah, I'm very excited about this field. So I'm very happy to share everything I keep learning. Okay, so technology, the game changer. All of our lives, we've been told that it's very important to go to college. There seems to be this invisible line that divides those who go to college from those that don't go to college. But technology is changing absolutely everything. And why has technology changed, especially the educational landscape? Have you guys noticed how fast things have evolved in the past 4 years? Let's take the example of TikTok, for example. TikTok in 2019 had 381 million users. Last year, 2023, it reported 1.5 billion users. So this is very important because in 2019, if you were telling someone that you were going to become a content creator and live out of being a content creator, probably you would get a ton of long faces. But today, it's very well known that content creators can be very and widely successful in social media, especially in platforms like TikTok. So, in a matter of 4 years, a whole new career was sort of created. The same thing with electric cars. In 2019, only 2.2 million cars were sold. Last year, we were talking about 13.6 million. This is 6 times more than in 2019. Also relevant because electric cars open a new industry, especially for those who work in technology. Like, have you seen electric cars and how they are integrated with applications and how the applications are integrated with other applications, like, for example, Siri in iPhone and so on and so forth. So the I'm sorry, Siri just popped. So you can see how just one industry and the growth it's had opens a ton of possibilities for new jobs and some other jobs, like if you were working as a I don't know, in a gasoline station, you can see how this job is becoming less and less relevant. So things are shifting. Let's talk about AI. In 2019, the revenue of AI was only 14.7 billion. Now we're talking about 70.9 billion. It's 5 times what it used to be in 2019. And especially last year, we were able to see the immense size and capacity of AI, and how AI, it's a game changer within technology. AI itself, it's huge. And the same thing we have with AR and VR, so augmented reality and virtual reality. So we can see how augmented reality grew its users from 72.8 million to 110. The same with VR, from 43.1 million to 65 million. So the trend is growing. And for every one of these examples, there are multiple new jobs created and other jobs that are changing dramatically. At the pace things are evolving, it's a very important that we ask ourselves if your field of study is going to remain relevant in the next 4 to 5 years. So let me just give you an example. Let's take a paralegal, someone that goes to school to be a paralegal. I asked GPT, and you can do this exercise anytime, to write a contract. And I gave him or her, I gave it a quick prompt that it was a contract between a UX UI designer and a developer. And I gave it a few terms like, yes, I want to own the code and stuff like that. In a minute, I had a contract. So I want to be very clear. Is this going to replace lawyers? Absolutely not. If you do a contract using ChatGPT, I advise you to hire a lawyer who can review the contract and give you some notes, because one thing, it's not replacing the other. But if a lawyer firm used to have 10 paralegals to draft 10 contracts, now with the aid of AI, only one paralegal can do the job of 10. So AI, it's making us more efficient in our work, but at the same time, what it's doing, it's making the competition stiffer, more stiff than ever. So now we have to add more value to the companies if we want to be the ones to get hired. So given our circumstances, we have to be very smart about how we invest our education, our time, and our resources. Technology has made all the industries more competitive because it enhances people to be more efficient. Nowadays, experience has become a more important currency than a degree in most cases. Picture this: you are presenting yourself for a job, and the recruiter has two resumes in their hand. One that has maybe 3 years of experience, and another one that has a college degree but has zero experience. Which one do you think the hiring manager is going to hire? The one that it's absolutely green, or the one that is already knowledgeable in the field? So, given this frame, what is the solution? What can we do if we need to be more competitive than ever? So, there are profitable careers that require short foundational training, but they empower you to learn by doing. So, these are careers that you can learn the basics really quickly, then begin to work, and you are going to gain all this experience while working. So, there are several examples, but I'm just going to name 6 for the sake of time purposes. So we have a UX UI designer, and an entry level salary on average is 85K. We have information technology with an average entry level salary of 77K. We have web development with 86K as an entry level. Data analytics with 74K in entry level, data science 86K, SEO specialist 60K. All these career paths, and these are career paths, like you can definitely grow as a professional in any of these careers. They have a series of benefits. So, what are the benefits of these alternatives career paths? Let's name one. Shorter training. This one is absolutely key. While a traditional career, it's going to take about 4 to 5 years, these careers require very short foundational training. So let's take, for example, training in UX UI with Avo Academy. We have two programs. The first one is UX Foundations, where during this can take between 8 to 16 weeks, you're going to learn all the fundamentals of UX UI. So everything you need to know before you can go and do a job as a UX designer, you're going to learn here in Foundations. However, in this particular field, you also need, besides this basic knowledge, you need a portfolio so you can begin working with other companies. So that's why we have another program that is called Career Jumpstart, where you get to work with real clients, and while working, you are learning and you're building a very robust portfolio, gaining experience. And then in Career Jumpstart, which is very cool, and basically starting today, we get the job guarantee back. So that means that we are guaranteeing that you're going to get a job if you follow all the steps that we give you. So you are going to receive the job search support in building your portfolio, your resume, everything. So this takes about 3 months. So this is basically 7 months compared to 4 years that would take a college for you to complete a college degree. So it's a fraction of the time. And right now, as we saw earlier, how things are evolving so fast, shorter studies are very efficient because you're able to quickly adapt to wherever the industry, the society is moving towards to. Another benefit is that with this short career paths, like short training career paths, you get to gain more experience. So, using the same example, while a peer that decided to go to college is in college, learning everything, you spend 7 months learning the fundamentals, and then you are going to have all while they are studying, you are gaining experience, you're gaining professional experience. So by the time we hit the 4 year mark, you would already have your training and probably many more trainings and already 3 years of experience, which, as we discussed earlier, experience, it's now a more value currency than a college degree. The other benefit is that because of the technology industry, because it's growing so exponentially, as we saw earlier in the presentation, uh, there are high paying jobs. This is an industry that it's growing, that it's booming, that it's requiring talented people to come and work here. So it's a high paying career. That means that by the 4 year mark, where the college student has finished their studies, they've been there for 4 years, they have 0 years of work experience, and they have earned $0. In the other hand, if you take a career path in any of these tech careers, by the mark of 4 years, you're going to have your training, you're going to have 3 years of experience, and taking the average salary that was 85K per year, by the 3 year mark, so by the 4 year mark, you would have earned 255K, the same period of time for both cases. So it is also very positive that you get to earn a very good salary very early in the process. Another very important benefit of this alternative career paths is the tuition savings, the education costs. So while a college degree on average can cost about 35K, a training in any of the alternative career paths that I showed you earlier, but taking especially UX UI with Avo Academy as an example, this is the cost for our foundations course. This is the cost for our career jumpstart if you pay upfront. So by the 4 year mark, the college student, it's gonna be a college, like, okay, they're going to have their bachelor degree, they're going to have 0 years of experience, they have earned $0, and on the contrary, they owe $35,000. In your case, if you decided to go with an alternative career and taking Avo Academy as an example, the same 4 year mark, you're going to have your training. You, by this time, you're no longer a junior designer. You're already looking into a mid-level designer. So actually, this number could be potentially higher. So by the 4 year mark, you would have experience, you would have like your certificate, you're gonna have 200 and you've earned 255K, but taking the tuition that, as you can see, it's a fraction. So like summing this together, my math, it's not so great, but let's say it's about 7K. It's a fraction of 35. So by the end of 4 years, you're gonna have 248,000, $100,000. Yeah, that's what you're gonna have. So if you put in a balance the education costs, this quick careers have the possibility that they are more affordable. But there is indeed one advantage to going to college. But before I tell you this very important advantage, because fair and square, college has something very interesting that this alternative career paths don't. Before we dive into that, please take the time to fill this form. We really value your thoughts. We want to know how we're doing. If this content is of your interest, we would love to learn what other topics you would like to hear or learn from. So please take a minute. I promise it's not going to take more than a minute to scan this code. And by filling out this form, you're going to receive a bonus of 250 discount on our foundations course. So actually this, it's going to be less. So please take a second to scan this. So that thing that college offers, that boot camps and this alternative career paths can't compete with, is the college experience and social connections. So the whole college experience of going to college, being in this academic environment, learning from your teachers, several teachers, meeting friends and getting to have friends. This is a very unique experience that boot camps cannot replace. And in college, you're going to be able to make meaningful social connections that will probably last your lifetime. Some of my best friends are from my college time, and I love them like my sisters, so, and brothers. So absolutely, this is something that, for example, in Avo Academy, we're trying to work and build towards, right? So we have, for example, a Slack channel and a beautiful Slack community with other designers, and you can interact with them and create a ton of connections, but it's not quite the same yet. So that is absolutely true. So if this is something that is truly important for you, if you've dreamed your whole life about going to college and having the whole college experience, college football, everything, it's very hard to replicate with a bootcamp. But if you're actually wondering how you could advance career forward and being ahead of the curve, then an alternative career path can be for you. So in conclusion, I created this graph to visually represent each one of the paths. So in college, you're going to have a longer time where you are studying the field with, for example, Avocademy, which is the example we've used throughout the presentation. It's going to be a fraction of the time. So while others are busy studying behind their desks, you are gaining work and real life experience that it's already putting you ahead of the curve. On the other hand, here we have the tuition costs. So going to college is more expensive than doing an online bootcamp or like a short career. So in terms of costs, college, it's going to be more expensive. Uh, boot camps, especially Avo Academy, it's very affordable. And despite being affordable, it's been named by Forbes and Course Report for several years as the best UX UI, one of the best UX UI online boot camps out there. So for a fraction of the cost, you get really high quality education. Then you have social connections. So we're aiming to connect more designers and to create this human connections and network that is so important, but it doesn't compare. It's really hard to compare to the experience you would have in college. So additionally, another factor to put into this equation is money. By the time a college student finish their degree, if you did opt for a career path as Avo Academy, you're gonna have you're gonna build your wealth. Like you're going to grow financially. You're gonna lay strong and solid economical foundations. And if you go to college, obviously we're basing this exclusively in the career, right? If you have a side job, that's a complete different story. But if it's for applying the career or the field of study you are learning in college, by the time you graduate, you're not going to be earning money from that field. Whereas with boot camps, especially with the example of Avo Academy, you are definitely going to do that. So thank you so much for joining me today. This is very fun. This is amazing for me to share with you all these experiences and open different alternatives for you, right? So obviously, I highly encourage you to do your own research. Most importantly, listen to your heart and listen to yourself and ask yourself, what is it that you want? What is more important for you? Every circumstance, it's very unique. If you value the social connection, maybe don't skip college. But if you want to advance pretty quickly in your career and advance pretty quickly economically, this could be a very interesting option for you. So know your options, keep researching. If you are interested in learning more about how Avo Academy can help you boost your career and start your career, please scan this code and schedule a call with a career advisor. So that's it. It's been a great pleasure sharing this information with you, and I hope to see you in the next time.